Good morning. Today's going to be an interesting day in the Ioniq because I'm driving up to Sheffield, which from door to free charging point at the Sheffield Technology Centre car park is 100 miles. It's currently 3 degrees outside, and when fully charged the car has a range of 109 miles with the heater on. That 9 miles of leeway is low enough to give me range anxiety, so I'm going to be driving as economically as possible, and let's see how the journey turns out. Okay, so let's choose a route, and we can see that Waze, it gives us 3 options: M1, the A38 with the M1 at the top, or a kind of mixture of the two. So I reckon going on the M1 would be the best idea, because I can hopefully then sneak in behind a lorry and be dragged along at about 60 miles an hour the whole way. So I'm doing quite well here. Travelled so far 22 miles and have still got 100 miles range shown on the clock. I put the heating on up to 20 degrees because it was getting a bit chilly. I reset the gauge of how many miles you get per kilometer, and that's currently reading 6.1. Right now I'm behind a truck. Set the regen level to 0 so that I'm coasting along. I think it's probably the best idea on a motorway. And yeah, quite happy with this, doing quite well. So on the A42 now, M42, A42, joining the M1, speed restriction 50 miles an hour. That'll probably help, to be honest. So time's romping on, and I found a truck that's going slightly faster, 70 plus miles an hour. I've decided to keep behind that instead of the slower ones, and as a consequence my miles per kilowatt hour has gone down to 5.6. The unscientific conclusion that I would make following that is that there is a big difference in efficiency between going at around 60 miles an hour and 70 miles an hour. Exiting junction 33 of the M1 to Sheffield. 2.6 miles to go, 46 miles range. What was I worried about? Coming up to the Technology Science Park, obviously fingers crossed now that the charger there is working and unoccupied.
About take the first exit onto B6533 Poplar Way.
Well, my main concern was that if this charger wasn't working, then I wouldn't have enough range to get me to the next charger, which, seen as the one at Meadow Hall, which is free, another in-motion charger, seems to be out of service. Then the next one is the one at IKEA, which is an ecotricity, 30 pence per kilowatt hour.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Brunel Way. Then turn left onto Morse Way.
So, here we are.
Turn left onto Morse Way.
And there's
then
the charger.
Turn left.
Okay,
Turn
there's
left.
Nobody else here.
You've arrived at your destination.
Open the door. And plug in the CCS charger. Choose your energy. CCS. Plug the cable. Connecting. Press any button. So is it charging? Oh well, a little red light is on. It says 29 minutes to charge it up fully. Cool. There we go. A chap in a Mitsubishi Outlander has just pulled up to recharge for free. But unfortunately the CHAdeMO connector is still out of service, so he's driving away disappointed. Nice chat though. We had a little chat because we nearly bought the Outlander before being persuaded to get the Ioniq. I think it's a nice car, the Outlander. Yeah. Disappointing though. Well, that's great. Took it up to nearly full with a range of 117 miles again in less than 20 minutes. So that's fantastic. That was a really good experience. Excellent. You know, I unplug this in very often. There we go. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And on to the rest of the weekend. Gotcha.
But that's why everybody wants a piece of the action. Everybody needs a go. Oh, still holds alright. I want it, dead on. Should nobody stop the shot with things I do.
Oh wow. Oh, it's nice and warm too. Oh God, I love the carbon fibre.
Get rid of that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm having it done in black. Everything's going to be black.
Oh ho ho ho!
It's not very good.
The story, and it.
Donkey.
Fantastic weekend, 5 o'clock Sunday evening. Recharging at the Sheffield Technology Centre car park again. 80% charge, only going to take 13 minutes to top it up. 81%, it's charging really quickly. So it's all yours.
Excellent, thanks very much.
So we have a couple with a BMW i3 come to use a CCS charger, less than 10 minutes before it had filled up the car, so nice and convenient for them as well. Right, so according to the clock we have 112 miles range, 100 miles to go. I've reset the miles per kilowatt hour setting and see how well I can do on the way back. What an absolutely fantastic weekend. Didn't have a chance to speak to folks in the pub because it was so damn loud in there, but we've just had Sunday lunch together.
At the roundabout, take the third exit onto M1 towards London.
So, starting the journey home proper. Getting dark. Just got to find a lorry to get behind now. So I've managed to find a coach which is going at about 70 miles an hour. I know I could drive more economically if I got behind a lorry that was doing 60, but I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So yeah, I'm going to stick behind this coach and get home a little bit quicker. And so my miles per kilowatt hour is nowhere near what it was coming down. It's currently at 4.4. So the question is, does driving behind a large vehicle help with efficiency? Does the drag that it gives you help? And I would say the answer is definitely yes. So I was using the spare range, the difference between the distance I need to travel and the range displayed by the car as a measure, and that built up over time while I was behind a large vehicle. It got up to 20 miles spare range. Then the coach that I was following peeled off, and I was then not following any large vehicle, and that spare range reduced to 18 miles. I don't feel that I was driving any faster then, it just wasn't being dragged along. And then I found another coach to drive behind, and that spare range increased. So now we have 21 miles to go, 42 miles range, so that increased by 3 miles while I was behind this coach. If you have plenty of time and are happy to drive along at 60 miles an hour or less, slightly less, then get behind a truck. If you want to get there a little bit faster, compromise a little bit on efficiency, get behind a coach. 7.5 miles to go, 30 miles range on the clock. Nearly home. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a detour, pull in at Hopwood Services Junction 2 of the M42 and get a Kentucky for the family. After a detour to get some food, I've arrived home with 12 miles range left on the clock, and 4.7 miles per kilowatt hour used. So no, that's not bad. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it and maybe even subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
You know